Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. I am so excited that you guys are here today because this is a very special episode of Jill Informed. A couple of days ago, I teased a little bit to you guys that a cast member from the Real Housewives of Orange County had reached out to me and emailed me a letter. And I would like to first start by telling you that this person is a subscriber to Jill Informed. I knew about this for quite a while. It was not that long after the season started. Whenever I get a new subscriber, I get a notification. I should say that is if you haven't made your profile private. So I saw this person's name. And this was a couple of months ago, like I said, right after the season started. I recognized the name, as will all of you. And I thought, is that the real person? I don't know. But I kind of put it out of my mind and went about my business of recapping and reviewing and giving you guys all my opinion of the show. But very recently, this person reached out to me via email. And so I'm now going to reveal who it is. It is Emily's husband, Shane. Yep. Shane Simpson subscribes to Jill Informed. Yay, thank you. I don't know how he even found my silly little channel, but he did. And like I said, I saw the name Shane Simpson, but I thought, is it the real Shane? I doubt he would even have time or care or whatever. But I got an email from him a couple days ago, and do you want me to read it to you guys? I will. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to read his email, and then I emailed him back, and I think I'll read that to you as well, and then we will dissect. Okay, so here's what he says. Hi, Jill. I saw your recap today and enjoyed it. Believe it or not, I have zero ill will towards reviews because it's only based on the clips viewers see, which Bravo chooses to show. And I can understand that. I've seen your recap before and never thought to respond because I feel it is unfair to interject. However, I wish only to clear up the subject of our children brought up today. Just to refresh your memory, what he's referring to is a question that came from one of my viewers, Kelly Jean. Hi, Kelly. And I answered that on the air last week. In fact, why don't you just take a look? And the next question is from Kelly Jean, who asks, about Emily. Maybe I'm missing something, but if she wanted 2 girls and has 3 kids, why didn't she pick 2 girl embryos? Yeah. So I answered this in the comments, but I thought it was a really good question because I don't know why. Like, I never even thought of that. And maybe it's because of my feelings for Shane, but I wonder if Shane didn't want any kids with Emily because he had 2 daughters already. You know, that's sort of I don't know. I just wonder. And then she probably wanted a child of her own and wanted a daughter. And so they had Annabelle. And then I think she probably wanted to have a sister for Annabelle. And Shane said, no more kids? Maybe unless it was a boy? I'm just wondering if the only way she could get Shane to have another kid is if it was a boy. He didn't have any sons. So I'm just speculating, of course, but it just seems douchey enough to be true, you know? That like, he only agreed if they were going to take the boy embryos. I don't know. And so then she just was happy to have more kids and said yes. But then maybe in the back of her mind, she always thought, well, we've got the eggs there and I'll just hit them up for a girl later. But of course I don't know, but otherwise, yeah, why, if this was her dream all along to have 2 girls just like she and her sister were, then why did she have twin boys when she could have picked a girl embryo? So I just thought that was a good question. Yeah. So that's what he's referring to when he said, however, I only wish to clear up the subject of our children brought up today. A valid question. Why on earth would Emily and I have one girl and two boys when she, quote, always wanted two girls? The answer, parentheses, no, not because of douchebag Shane. We had tried. There is much history to Emily and I having the children we have. Although I don't want to speak for Emily, there was a point where my daughters, his two older girls from his previous marriage, were close to Annabelle, but now Shelby is a senior and Chanel is going into high school soon, and Emily has come to terms and realized she would like another daughter. Two boys was not my decision, he says. Emily wished for sons and daughters all along. However, being that it was likely the last time we would do surrogacy, as her sister stated so, and it was emotionally and financially exhausting, we opted for two boys with the hope for one. I, he says, was really indifferent to sons or daughters. And he does give a little smiley face with the colon in the parentheses. I have never emailed or reached out to any reviewers until now. For some reason, I found this was an important subject to make clearer for viewers. I commend you on a YouTube channel that appears to be gaining traction. It is not easy, as I helped my daughter with hers and it required dedication and time to create. Sincerely, Shane. Lastly, the suitcase was actually my sister's. We both have white suitcases, and when traveling together last year, her kids labeled theirs to distinguish it from ours, and we all found fun in it. A little bad about that one. So that was his email to me. And before I go into talking more about it, in the interest of full disclosure, I would like to share with you my email reply to Shane. Hi Shane, first let me express my shock that you even found my little channel, haha. You are right about how much work goes into this for very little, or in my case, no, pay. Second, let me express how much I appreciate your understanding of Real Housewives of Orange County reviews in general, and mine in particular. Even though you may go into these things with your eyes open, I wonder if you can ever really know what putting your life on TV entails until you do it. Being criticized and judged based on what Bravo chooses to air, being possibly the worst of it. No one on these shows gets away unscathed, but I don't have to tell you, do I? So having said that, I'm happy to read your letter next week to clear up the confusion viewers may have about the subject of your children, and I appreciate that you reached out to me to do so. Jill. P.S. Thanks for watching. Okay, I wanted to share all that because I don't want you to think that my entire opinion of Shane has changed. I'm not going to take back any of the negative things that I have said about him because that was how I interpreted his behavior at the time that I saw it. That was my honest reaction to what I was viewing on my television screen. So I don't take back any of that. Any comments I make in general are my true feelings or I'm trying to be funny. And it doesn't always come across that way. You know, sarcasm is not easy, is it? But I will say this. I don't think I ever truly cross the line. I tend not to criticize people for things they can't change. Not because I'm above all that, but because I particularly don't find that kind of humor funny. I'm more about, I'm going to criticize what you're wearing, I'm going to criticize what you said, those kind of things, because those are choices I disagree with. What I am feeling sorry about and what I would like to apologize for was the comment about the not yours sign on the suitcase. That was done by a child. I don't think it's cool that I made fun of it. Of course, in my defense, I didn't know it was a child. And not only was it done by a child, but this is Shane's sister's children. They're not even on the show. So they really don't deserve any kind of criticism in any way. They're choosing to live their life privately or their parents are for them. But so I'm kind of sorry about that. I only wanted to make fun of it because I thought it was Shane. And Shane, I'm not afraid to make fun of, as you know. But kids, yeah, that's not cool. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Also, I will say this, that changes my opinion. Because for a kid to put that sign on there because they're traveling with cousins and you guys have the same suitcase, that is kind of funny to have theirs say not yours, because the joke is, it's sort of an inside joke then. And in that context, it's kind of funny. So that was me just not having all the facts, and I misread that part of it. Okay, so as far as what he clarified about the children situation, I will say this is not me sucking up to Shane, so, calm down. I appreciate that he cared enough to want to clarify something. I also appreciate that he appears to have a good sport attitude about what cannot be a good situation for him. This is a situation where Bravo is manipulating us a little bit. The storyline, really from the very beginning, when Emily and Shane went out to dinner for their anniversary, that's when this storyline started of Emily wanting another little girl. That's the storyline Bravo wants to drive with Emily. And it appears as though that isn't completely the truth. And so because of that, we're left to wonder why, when she had the opportunity to have the sister that she's always wanted Annabelle to have, why didn't she, when she had the opportunity, when her sister agreed to be a surrogate for the second time, why did she choose boy embryos? So I appreciate Shane explaining that to us. Emily had always wanted girls and boys, and this was the second and what they knew to be the last time that Emily's sister was going to do this for them. With that information, Shane and Emily chose boy embryos. That tells me Emily must have wanted to have a boy more than she wanted to have a sister for Annabelle. So maybe because both embryos took and they have two boys, maybe that's what's getting Emily thinking, see, now when they grow up, the boys are going to have each other and Annabelle's not going to have a sister. Maybe this desire for Annabelle to have a sister is even stronger because of that. And as Shane said in his email, when they were all younger, Annabelle was closer to her older sisters. And you know how it is, as when kids get older, that sort of age gap increases. So coupling all of those things together may be what is elevating Emily's desire for another girl. You guys know that I have always said I don't disagree with Shane on this one. I'm not changing my viewpoint because he emailed me. You can go back and look at my videos. I've always said that I hate to agree. I hate to agree with him, but I agree with him on this. He has as much of a voice in this matter as Emily does. And you can't just have another one because your wife wants another one. It's not a puppy. This is a huge lifelong commitment. I think it's fine that she's keeping her eggs on hold, but I don't know that that's gonna change for him. Also, kind of a final thought here is, I understand that he signed up to be on a reality show. He signed up to have cameras in his home watching his every move and his wife's every move and the kids and how they interact and all of that. I get it. I don't feel sorry for him. I know they're getting paid to do this, and I know he signed up for it. He's an adult and he knows what he got into. But I like the psychology of it is interesting to me. I do wonder, and like I said to Shane in my reply, I wonder if you ever really understand completely what that means, or the hailstorm of criticism you're going to get about every little single thing you do. I just don't think it is ever what you thought. I don't think you can ever really prepare yourself for what it's going to be like. And it takes a certain kind of person. It takes a certain personality. I know at this point, Vicki and Tamra, they are truly crazy monsters, and they don't care. You know, they don't care. I think they're unaware of the cameras now. I think they're so used to the cameras that it doesn't inhibit them in any way, shape, or form. But I don't think that everybody can do that. But you know, everybody is comfortable at different levels. I know there are people in my life that can't believe that I even do this little YouTube channel. They can't even imagine that. So, you know, everybody has their level of comfort. So, Shane, I feel like you might be watching right now. So I have a question to you directly. Do you feel like this experience being on the Real Housewives of Orange County is anything like you expected it to be? And do you feel like you are very misunderstood? You have to know that you're not getting a good edit. But my question is, do you think you're getting a fair edit? You know, you're not coming off very likable. In fact, if I were to say the one thing that all of my particular viewers and even viewers I see on social media, Facebook groups, that kind of thing, I would say overwhelmingly the one thing people can agree on is that they don't like you. And then I see Gina on Watch What Happens Live, and somebody asked her, do you get along with Shane now? Oh, yeah, we get along now. So I don't know if you get along with Kelly, but if people in your personal life like you, you've got to feel like you're not getting a good edit, right? I don't know. That's my question to you. What is the disparity there? Do you think that Bravo has cast you as the villain this year? Or is it a fair interpretation? I'm curious. Okay, now to the rest of you, I will say this. I genuinely appreciated his email to me. And I'll tell you why. Because even though he signed up for this, all that, he shared something incredibly personal and private with me so that I would share it with you guys. And that is about their journey through surrogacy. And, you know, it's none of our business, any of us. But it's a storyline on the show. So there's nothing I feel sorry for him about. It's just that it felt a little awkward that he was clarifying part of his surrogacy story to me, a stranger. You know, it was sort of a surreal kind of a thing there. And so I appreciated it. I also appreciated that he has no ill will to my recapping the show and my take on it and things I say. He even made a joke about being douchebag Shane. So more than anything, I respect somebody who doesn't take themselves too seriously. And that was unexpected. So I'm just gonna end this video with a promise to my viewers. I'm not buds with Shane now. I'm going to call it the way I see it. If he does anything in the future that I think is a jerk move, I'm gonna call him out on it. I have no intentions of changing how I recap anything about this show. So that's my story. All right, I have 2 questions to you guys. Number 1, I really want to know what you think about this letter. And number 2, if Shane's watching and you were able to ask him a question, what would your question be? Who knows? Maybe he'll answer. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And Shane, thank you for reaching out to me. I truly mean that. I truly appreciate it. I'm having so much fun doing this, and you all are a big, big part of the reason why. If you liked this episode, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to Jill Informed if you haven't already. And go ahead and go to my homepage. Click on that bell if you want notifications every time I have a new video out. All right, thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.